So back in 2021, this American woman named Stephanie started an English teaching podcast called Thinking in English. No team, no sponsors, just her. Today, that podcast has listeners in over 100 countries, pulls in hundreds of thousands of downloads every month, and it's literally her full-time job. And here's an even crazier one, dreaming Spanish. In the early days, the founder Pablo would just sit in front of a camera and tell stories in slow Spanish. That's it. That channel now has over 800,000 subscribers, and its paid membership makes it one of the most profitable independent brands in the entire language learning space. And here's the thing. Neither of them is a fancy professor. Neither of them was famous. They didn't get lucky. They just got into a niche that most creators completely sleep on: language learning content. And this niche has three things almost no other content category can give you: a global audience, content that never expires, and monetization that is honestly kind of ridiculous. So in this video, I'm gonna break down three things: why language learning podcasts are one of the best niches a solo creator can get into right now, where the money in this niche actually comes from, and how to use AI to do what used to take a whole team in about 2 hours by yourself. Let's look at the numbers first. Over 1.5 billion people are learning English right now. Spanish, Japanese, Korean, French. Each of those has tens of millions of learners, some way more. Language learning is one of the biggest categories in global education. But here's what makes it special. It's a real need, and it's a long-term need. Learning a language takes the average person 2 to 5 years, which means one loyal listener sticks with your channel for years. No entertainment channel, no news channel gets that kind of audience lifespan. Advantage number 1, the content never expires. You make one episode today, ordering coffee in English, and 5 years from now, people are still searching for it, still watching it. Compare that to a news channel where content dies in 3 days. Language content is a true long-tail asset. Every episode you make keeps earning for you. Advantage number 2, your audience is global. You make an English learning channel, and your listeners are in Brazil, Vietnam, Turkey, Mexico. Your market isn't one country, it's most of the planet. And here's the interesting part. The places with the strongest demand for English often have the least quality content available. That's a massive gap between supply and demand. Advantage number 3, you get roughly double the ways to make money. A normal channel makes ad revenue, and that's about it. A language learning channel, ad revenue, and education content already gets higher CPMs. Brand sponsorships, language apps, and education platforms have serious budgets. Digital products, vocab sheets, workbooks, make them once, sell them forever. Memberships, affiliate deals. On a mature language channel, ads are usually only about 1/3 of total income. Just like the true crime episode, we start with positioning. Because if you get this wrong, nothing else matters. And listen, teaching English is not a niche. That's like saying my channel is about food, way too broad. There are 6 proven formats in language learning podcasts. Let me walk you through them. Format 1, story-based immersion. Think Dreaming Spanish or the Duolingo podcast. You tell stories in the target language, pitched just slightly above the learner's level. Highest completion rates, stickiest audience. Format 2, slow news. Like news in slow Spanish. You take current events and retell them in slower, simplified language, and you never run out of topics, because there's news every single day. Format 3, dialogue practice. Real-life scenarios. Ordering food, job interviews, seeing a doctor, checking in at the airport. This one crushes search traffic, because every episode is literally a search term. Format 4, vocabulary mini-dramas. 3 to 5 minute little scenes built around 10 or 15 high-frequency words. Perfect for clipping into shorts and TikToks. Best format for pulling in new viewers. Format 5, culture plus language. The stuff behind the language. Why Japanese people talk the way they do. The unwritten rules of American offices. Strongest differentiation, and the best fit for memberships. Format 6, test prep. IELTS, TOEFL, JLPT. This audience has the highest willingness to pay and converts best on digital products. So how do you pick? Here's the formula. Target language times learner level times content format. That's your positioning. Don't be an English teaching channel. Be the slow news channel for intermediate Spanish learners. The more specific you are, the better YouTube's algorithm knows exactly who to show you to. Now you're probably thinking, if this niche is so good, why isn't everyone doing it? Because the old way of making language content has an even higher barrier than true crime. You need near native fluency, or you're paying native speakers. You need to understand teaching methodology. You need bilingual scripts, writing everything twice. You need clean, standard pronunciation that's actually good for learners. Want multiple languages? Multiply all of that by 2 or 3. That's why institutions owned this space for so long. But here's the flip side. This is exactly the category that AI changes the most. Because the hardest parts, bilingual scripts, native pronunciation, difficulty control, are precisely the things AI is best at. All right, let's open up PodcastorAI. I covered this last episode, but quick recap. The script generator in here is not your average AI writing tool. The team behind it studied a huge library of top-performing podcasts and trained the model on what actually keeps people listening. And that matters even more for language content, because learning podcasts have their own structure: scene setup, core dialogue, key phrases broken down slowly, vocab explained, then a practice prompt. A good language script is content plus teaching method combined. And that's exactly what a generic AI writer can't give you. Let me actually make an episode right now. I'll type in ordering coffee in English, target audience intermediate learners, native language Chinese, 10 high-frequency phrases, 8 minutes long. Same 3 input options as last time. Type a description, upload a text document, or paste a link. And here's a nice trick. If you're doing the slow news format, just paste in a news article link, and PodcastorAI builds a simplified learner script straight from that article. Your topic research basically costs you nothing. Now look at how this script opens. It doesn't say, "Today we're learning coffee shop English." It says,
"You're standing at the counter of a coffee shop in New York. The person in front of you just said something you didn't catch, and now it's your turn."
It creates that little spike of anxiety first, then offers the fix. That's the podcast framework doing its job. It knows how to keep people listening, even when the content is educational. Then you get the full dialogue, the phrase breakdowns, the vocab list, and it ends with an open question that gets listeners answering in English, in your comments, which, by the way, is also your engagement rate. Once it's generated, you go into editing. And for language content, there's one thing you'll do constantly: difficulty calibration. Sometimes the AI picks a word that's just too hard for your audience. In a traditional workflow, catching that means rewriting, re-recording, re-editing. In PodcastorAI, you're editing at the text level. Just swap the word and the audio regenerates itself. Want to pause so listeners can repeat after you? Just mark a pause right in the text.
So the problem is not vocabulary only. It is the pressure of the situation.
You never touch an editing app. And for language content, that freedom to fine-tune is literally the difference between content that fits your audience and content that doesn't. Here's the deal. In true crime, the voiceover sets the mood. In language learning, the voiceover is the product. Your listeners are literally building their sense of the language off your pronunciation. If the pronunciation is off or the pacing is wrong, it doesn't matter how good your content is. First, native-level pronunciation from the best AI voice models out there. PodcastorAI plugs into the top voice models on the market, covering native-level voices across a whole range of languages. Which means you don't need to be a native English speaker to make English content with native pronunciation. You don't even need to speak Spanish to run a Spanish channel. 3 years ago, that was unthinkable. Second, the two-voice teaching structure. The classic setup in language podcasts is splitting the target language from the explanation. Dialogue runs in a native English voice. Explanations run in the learner's own language. In PodcastorAI, you just tag different sections with different voices, right in the script, and it generates in one go.
"I'd like a cappuccino, please."
I'd like 是一个非常礼貌自然的表达，意思是我想要。
the listener's brain automatically learns the switch. This voice means English mode. That voice means understanding mode. It's a proven teaching structure. Third, cloning your own voice. I covered this last episode, but in language learning, it has a special use. Run the explanations in your own clone voice. Learners build a real connection with their teacher. The dialogue demos can be a native AI voice, but the voice that walks them through it, explains things, encourages them. That voice is you. Upload 3 to 5 minutes of yourself talking, and PodcastorAI clones it into your own private voice model. And that model belongs entirely to you. Private, locked to your account. Nobody else can ever use your voice. You never have to show your face, but your channel has a real teacher personality, and it's actually yours. When you turn language content into video, there's one thing that's different from every other niche. Captions aren't a nice to have. Captions are a teaching tool. Learners need to hear the words and see them at the same time. That dual input, audio plus text, is proven to boost retention. So how your captions look directly shapes the learning experience. Mode 1. Visual podcast. PodcastorAI Auto generates animated captions synced to the audio, with keyword highlighting. For language content, that's huge. Set your target vocab to a highlight color, and learners catch the keywords instantly. For backgrounds, go bright and clean, the complete opposite of the true crime dark aesthetic. Educational visuals should feel light, friendly, doable. Mode 2. AI Avatar. Basically, build your own AI language teacher. This is the best use of avatars in the language niche. Give your channel a consistent teacher character, lip sync to the audio, natural expressions. Learners pay way more attention and trust way more when there's a teacher's face on screen versus just captions. Alright, let's talk money. A language channel monetizes in 3 layers. Layer 1, traffic income, months 1 through 6, YouTube ad revenue. Education content gets above average CPMs, and because your viewers come from all over the world, your income is way more stable than a single region channel. Layer 2, digital products, months 6 through 12. This is where the real profit lives. Every episode's companion materials, the vocab PDF, the phrase workbook, the transcript, cost you basically nothing to make because the content is already sitting in your script. Export it, format it, that's a product. Price it at $5 to $15, sell it worldwide forever. A language channel with 50,000 subs often makes more from digital products than from ads. Layer 3, memberships. After the 1-year mark. Premium content, full slow versions of every episode, a learning community, monthly live Q&As. That's exactly the dreaming Spanish model. $8 a month, tens of thousands of paying members. Do that math real quick. Now notice the logic here. Each layer is built on the trust from the layer before it. Free content proves your value first. Then you sell products, then memberships. You can't skip steps, and you can't flip the order. And the whole thing only works if you can produce content consistently, week after week. Which brings us back to the workflow. Batch produce in PodcastorAI. Generate a 6 to 8 episode series in one sitting. Run all the voiceovers and videos in a day. Release weekly. Make it once, and it ships to YouTube as video, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts as audio, all at the same time. Your channel grows on 3 platforms, while your workload stays at a fraction of what it used to be. Let's wrap this up. Language learning is a niche with a global audience, content that never expires, and double the monetization paths of a normal channel. And everything that used to make it hard, native fluency, teaching method, bilingual production, happens to be exactly what AI handles best. With PodcastorAI, scripts built on real podcast frameworks, with teaching structure baked in. Text-level editing, so calibrating difficulty never means re-recording. Native-level AI voices, plus your own cloned voice for the 2 voice teaching setup. Visual podcast with highlighted captions, or an AI teacher avatar. Make it once. Ship it to 3 platforms. PodcastorAI link is in the description. New users can try it for free. Drop a comment and tell me, which language and which format would you go with? I read every single one. And if you haven't seen the last episode on true crime channels, go watch it. Put the two side by side, and you'll see how the same workflow plays out in two completely different niches. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.